Hello crafters, this is Suzanne for Cat Scrappiness, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to put together this clean, simple, quick, and fun spring or Easter card. Alrighty crafters, let's go right into it. Let's get started. Here are the supplies that I used to make the card. First I have hippity hoppity bunnies, stamps, and there's the coordinating dies. I'm going to use this image that I colored up with my Copic markers. I also have this one as well. Next, Hop into Easter. This is a 6x8 pattern paper pack, and I used this sheet out of it, that pretty pattern with the flowers. Next, stitched nesting dome dies, and I'm using out of the 5 dies in this set, this one. Then stitched foliage dies, and I used these two, and hippity hoppity sentiment stamps. So here I used Some Bunny Loves You. I have it stamped out, and I used black pigment ink on some pink cardstock. And lastly, Build a Bow die set, and I used the smallest bow, which is this one here at the bottom with that little piece. And here is my assembled bow already. Look how cute that is, come together real easy with some barely art glue. Alrighty, let's put this card together. Here's a sheet of heavyweight white cardstock, 8.5 inch wide, 11 inches long, and I'm going to make this a top folding A2 card. And an A2 is 4.25 by 5.5. So on the 8.5 inch side, I'm going to cut at 4.25 inch right here using my guillotine trimmer. Then I have 2 panels so I can make 2 A2 cards. Next, I'm taking my scoreboard, and on the 11 inch side, I'm going to score in the middle at 5.5 inch. I'm using Cat's Teflon bone folder. Fold it in half and take this broad end and just burnish, just to crease the edges. Now we have our card base ready. Let's go ahead and go into the next steps of making the card. Here is the dome arch piece from the stitched dome die with that beautiful pattern paper. I think I'm going to do it like so. And then here is the stitched foliage die. Just run through with some green cardstock from my stash. What do you guys think? I think I like that. And then have my little bunny in here with the foliage. I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down. Okay, like so. I kind of like having that curve coming back in to the panel. I think that's kind of cute. Next, I'm going to put this piece on. Now I'm going to look at placement. Alrighty, crafters. So I snipped off those 2 little leaves, and I am thinking of something like this, and then have my little bunny and the sentiment somewhere around here in the top quadrant. But that's what I'm looking at so far. I am going to pop this up because this just needs just a little bit of height, just a hair of height. A hair of height, like the bunny's a hair. You get it? I'm going to take some double-sided tape and just apply like 3 strips, 1 down the middle and on each side. Okay, crafters, I'm going to remove the tape backing and then adhere this ensemble. Okay, that looks straight to me-ish. That looks straight-ish. So I'm going kind of over to this side. Have my little floral garden. Here are the little leaves coming out of that garden. Let me get my bunny into place. Kind of like the bunny interacting with the bow, like that. All right, so let me go ahead and adhere the bunny. I'm going to also pop up the bunny too. Needs a little bit of dimension. Now look at this. Both Nina cardstock and Copic friendly cardstock. If you make a mistake with your stamping, flip it over and stamp. You'll never know. That's the beauty of these alcohol-friendly cardstock. Look at that big boo-boo on the back. Let's take a real look at that boo-boo. But it's not lost, so don't throw away that. Just flip it over and stamp again, and good as new. Love that. Now, if you make a mistake on the second side, then yes, you're going to have to put it in the garbage. Okay, crafters, remove the tape backing. And apply it like so. Then next, I'm going to put the bow, him just a little bit off to the side. And I'm going to have to do some popping up of the bow. This one, I'm going to use a higher adhesive. Always good to have different sizes. Now let me look at where this falls. All right, so I know my quadrants are down here. Blue, that's one. Does it? Oh, look at that, perfect. Love that. You can always use cardstock to even out the height if needed. Oh, I see what's happening. Oh, both of them came off. Guess what, crafters? It looks like my adhesive here dried out a little bit. Interesting. So if that happens to you, add a little wet glue, then the adhesive. I guess it's right here by the sun, and I live in Florida, so I guess the sun sort of did a little number on this. This is some Dollar Tree foam adhesive. Normally it's super sticky, but right now my roll, no sticky. It just fell right off. In the meantime, while this is setting, I'm going to go ahead and cut my sentiment strip. I had stamped out Somebody Loves You right here on a piece of colored cardstock, the same color that I used for this. And this is some basil cardstock in pink. Take my trimmer and I'm going to make a sentiment label. So if you don't have a sentiment label die, most of the time you can go ahead and make your own. And then what you always need is one straight edge. Now here I have some options. Here's another tip. If you don't have a die with fishtails, learn this from my scrapbooking days. I'm going to do it down here. Use your trimmer to do a blunt edge here, which would be rectangle. But you can also do the fishtail. Now, I learned this back in my scrapbooking days. Just try to go up the middle, and then you go side and side. So I could make my own fishtail. You see? You could also bend it in half and do it that way too, but when you bend it in half, sometimes it causes a crease. Like to bend it in half to get the perfect halfway point. But this is not exactly perfect, but is it really bothering you? I don't think so. But this is another option for the sentiment. I could do like that too. Or I could do it blunt. Maybe I will do it that way. It's kind of cute. All right, let's go again. Now, if it's still not straight, see I left myself a little bit of wiggle, so I can come back in again. I can go more shallow. This is more shallow. You see what I'm doing? I'm shortening the angle. Like so. That's why you leave a little bit of space if you're making your own fishtail. There we go. I think I did better with the Tim Holtz scissors. There we go, crafters. Today's just not my day. I had told you guys I really don't like this scissor. This just proved that point. I don't know, in my hand, it just doesn't work well. But that's the beauty of crafting. A lot of crafters swear by this style of scissors. For me, I love a sharp pair of scissors that fit like this. So to each their own, and there's always a tool out there to fit your needs. Back to the card. I am going to pop this up. Oh, look at that. That is so cute. Somebody Loves You. I could have also put it here too. What do you guys think? That's another option too. But I want something to tie back into the card base. Now, crafters, when it comes down to here, I like to get a little bit into those corners. So I like to go like so. You don't have to, but I always like to do it like this. And then I'll go like right here, just so it doesn't flip up too much. You see what I'm doing? So it has adhesive all the way out to that point. And then the same thing I'm going to do with this one. So I removed the adhesive, and now I'm trying to apply it straight across the top. Right. Now I'm coming back into this. Now I'm going to do something interesting here. Because my bunny is popped off of the base, I'm not going to go like this. You see the bottom of the bow? I'm going to tuck in here. You see where that is? To even out the height. If I was to stick it all the way down, you see what's happening? This is low, that's high. So I'm going to do a halfway thing. Just take your time when you're doing this type of stuff, just to kind of get it even. Now it's even. I'll put a little bit of wet glue here just to hold it down better. I zoom down a little bit. So I'm going to slip it there onto that leg and then come on in, and at the same time, even it out. There's the bow. The bow is it here. You can hold it for a second. So you see what I did? Those little things. Just take your time and do those little things. Will just make your card even in height. And I think that's it. I was going to put gems, but I'm going to leave it alone. I think this is cute enough. I still have these little leaves. Maybe I will tuck a leaf in here, you think? No. Sometimes, crafters, less is more. And that proves it, right? Let me see if I need something down here. Nope. Takes away from it. Okay, crafters, everything will be detailed and linked below. So you can make some really sweet Easter and spring cards with this wonderful set of papers, dies, stamps. Look at this bow. These two are like all your beauties, all right? Okay, crafters, until the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Stay crafty, my friends. Bye!